Lost in the digital world, how to stay connected after retirement, an opening note of reflection. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, who am I now? Not just your name or your age, but the deeper question, what defines you when the daily work, the routine, the role that shaped your life suddenly fades away? Maybe you felt a quiet emptiness creeping in, a sense that something vital is missing. Or perhaps you wake up with a restless feeling, unsure how to fill the hours that once belonged to your career, your identity. You're not alone. Retirement can feel like stepping off a cliff into an unknown space, a mix of freedom and loss. But what if this space is not an end, but a door? A door to rediscovering who you truly are beyond the job title, the deadlines, the daily grind? Today, we're going to walk through that door together, to explore how retirees like you can find new meaning, new purpose, and a renewed sense of self in this next chapter of life. The Awakening Moment. Welcome. I'm Ordinary People, a fellow traveler who understands the complexity of this life transition. In the next 10 minutes, we'll explore the emotional and psychological challenges that come with retirement, especially the loss of purpose and identity that many experience. We'll dive into science-backed insights from renowned experts like Dr. Robert J. Waldinger, Dr. Nancy Schlossberg, and Dr. Richard Leider. But we won't stop there. You'll also receive practical strategies, 5 meaningful ways to rebuild your sense of purpose and identity after retirement. This is not about rushing to find a new job or stay busy. It's about something deeper, reconnecting with what brings you joy, meaning, and connection in this season of life. So whether you're newly retired or have been navigating this for a while, this conversation is for you. Let's begin by understanding what happens inside us when we retire. The awakening of curiosity. Retirement is often seen as a time of rest and reward, but it also triggers profound psychological shifts. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg, a pioneer in adult development and transitions, describes retirement as a major life transition that challenges our identity and sense of belonging. She explains that for many, work is more than just a paycheck. It's a source of identity, routine, social connection, and purpose. When that disappears, we can feel adrift. Dr. Robert J. Waldinger, director of the Harvard Study of Adult Development, reminds us that the quality of our relationships is the single greatest predictor of happiness and health in later life. But what happens when work was a primary context for those relationships? According to Dr. Lovra Carstensen, director of the Stanford Center on Longevity, retirees often face a shift in their social networks and emotional priorities. Her socio-emotional selectivity theory suggests that as we age, we prefer meaningful, emotionally fulfilling connections over broad social circles. This means retirement can be an opportunity, a chance to focus on relationships and activities that truly matter. However, the loss of a clear role can leave a void that feels overwhelming at first. Dr. Richard Leider, author of The Power of Purpose, emphasizes that purpose is not something we find outside ourselves. It's something we uncover within, through reflection and intentional action. So the question becomes, how do we move from loss to discovery? How do we rebuild a sense of purpose and identity that feels authentic and fulfilling? Let's explore 5 practical strategies that can help you do just that. Insight 1. Embrace the role of learner. The first step is to embrace a new role, that of a lifelong learner. Dr. Becca Levy's research on aging and mindset shows that the beliefs we hold about ourselves can shape our brain's capacity to adapt and grow. If you tell yourself, "I'm too old to change," your brain will slow down. But if you say, "I'm learning something new every day," your brain stays active and engaged. This mindset shift is powerful. Start small. Pick a new skill or hobby you've always been curious about, maybe painting, gardening, or even learning a new language. The goal isn't mastery. It's the joy of discovery and growth. Dr. Mo Wang, a leading expert in work and retirement psychology, Notes that engaging in new learning helps retirees rebuild confidence and identity outside of their former careers. Practical steps. Dedicate 20 minutes each day to learning something new, no matter how small. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Every step forward is a victory. Join local classes or online communities to connect with others who share your interests. Remember, you are not defined by what you used to do. You are defined by your willingness to grow and explore. This new role of learner can open doors to unexpected passions and friendships. Insight 2. Cultivate meaningful relationships. Next, focus on cultivating meaningful relationships. Dr. Waldinger's decades-long research shows that strong, warm relationships are the cornerstone of a fulfilling life. After retirement, it's common to lose daily contact with colleagues and even acquaintances. This can lead to loneliness, which research links to poorer health outcomes. But loneliness is not inevitable. Dr. Lovra Carstensen's work teaches us that quality matters more than quantity. Invest your time and energy in relationships that nourish your soul: family, close friends, neighbors, or community groups. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg encourages retirees to see this as an opportunity to deepen existing bonds and form new ones. Practical steps. Schedule regular calls or visits with loved ones. Join clubs, volunteer groups, or social activities that align with your values. Practice active listening and share your stories. Your experiences are a treasure to others. Dr. Ken Deichtwald, a gerontologist and author, reminds us that connection is a fundamental human need at every age. By nurturing relationships, you rebuild a social identity that supports your emotional well-being and sense of purpose. Remember, it's never too late to make new friends or strengthen old ones. Insight 3. Focus on purposeful activities. Purpose fuels us. Dr. Richard Leider describes purpose as the intersection of your passions, talents, and the needs of the world. In retirement, finding purposeful activities can help restore a sense of identity and fulfillment. This might be volunteering, mentoring, creative arts, or advocacy. Dr. Mo Wang's research highlights that retirees who engage in purposeful activities report higher life satisfaction and better mental health. Practical steps. Reflect on what matters most to you now. What issues or causes stir your heart? Explore volunteer opportunities that align with your passions and skills. Consider mentoring younger generations. Sharing your wisdom can be deeply rewarding. Allow yourself to try different activities until something feels right. Dr. Waldinger's research underscores that purpose is closely linked to longevity and happiness. Purpose is not about being busy. It's about feeling that your life still matters and contributes. By engaging in purposeful activities, you create a new narrative for your life, one that honors your past and embraces your future. Insight 4. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion. Retirement can bring up unexpected emotions: grief, anxiety, even guilt. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg reminds us that transitions are often accompanied by loss, not just of roles, but of dreams and expectations. Mindfulness and self-compassion are powerful tools to navigate these feelings. Mindfulness, the practice of being present without judgment, helps us observe our emotions without getting overwhelmed. Dr. Becca Levy's studies also suggest that a compassionate mindset towards oneself can buffer the negative effects of aging stereotypes and emotional distress. Practical steps. Begin with short daily mindfulness exercises. Focus on your breath or sounds around you. When negative thoughts arise, "I'm useless now," gently acknowledge them and redirect your focus to something positive. Practice self-kindness. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. Consider guided meditations or mindfulness apps designed for older adults. Dr. Richard Leider emphasizes that self-compassion opens the door to healing and growth. By treating yourself with kindness, you create a safe inner space to explore new possibilities without fear or shame. This emotional foundation supports all other steps toward rediscovering purpose. Insight 5. Create rituals and new traditions. Rituals give structure and meaning to our days. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg highlights that creating new routines can help retirees establish a sense of normalcy and identity. Rituals don't have to be grand. They can be as simple as a morning walk, a weekly phone call, or a special hobby time. Dr. Ken Deichtweld points out that rituals connect us to ourselves and to others, anchoring us in the present and giving us something to look forward to. Practical steps. Design daily or weekly rituals that bring you joy and peace. Include activities that nourish your body, mind, and spirit, like stretching, journaling, or listening to music. Share rituals with loved ones, creating connection and continuity. Adapt old traditions in new ways to fit your current life. Rituals become markers of identity, gentle reminders that even as life changes, you are still here, still growing, still meaningful. They help bridge the past and present, weaving a coherent story of your life's journey. The final light. Let's deepen our understanding with some advanced insights. Dr. Lovra Carstensen's research on emotional aging reveals that older adults tend to focus more on positive information and experiences, a phenomenon called the positivity effect. This means retirees have a natural tendency to prioritize joy and meaningful moments, which can be harnessed to improve well-being. Dr. Becca Livy's work on stereotype embodiment theory shows that internalized beliefs about aging influence physical health and cognitive function. Positive attitudes can literally extend life expectancy. Dr. Mo Wang emphasizes the concept of role innovation, the ability to create new social roles and identities after retirement, which is linked to better adjustment and satisfaction. Finally, Dr. Waldinger's Harvard study confirms that it's not wealth or fame, but warm relationships and a sense of purpose that predict a fulfilling life. Science tells us that our brains and hearts are wired for growth, connection, and meaning, no matter our age. The challenge is to consciously cultivate these qualities through mindset, relationships, purpose, and self-care. You have the power to shape this next chapter with intention and hope. From knowing to becoming, as we come to the close of this conversation, take a moment to reflect. Retirement is not just an ending. It's a beginning, a chance to rediscover yourself beyond the roles you once played. Remember Dr. Richard Leider's words, "Purpose is the reason you journey. Passion is the fire that lights your way." You have the wisdom, the experience, and the heart to create a meaningful and joyful life in this new season. Whether it's through learning, connecting, serving, or simply being kind to yourself, every step you take is a step toward a fuller life. Embrace the uncertainty with curiosity, and know that you are not alone on this path. There is hope, there is growth, and there is purpose waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until the next reflection before we part, I want to leave you with this thought. What if your retirement is not a loss of identity, but a grand opportunity to become the person you were always meant to be? What stories will you tell about this chapter? Will you speak of fear and loss, or of courage and rediscovery? The choice is yours. I invite you to take one small step today. Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend, trying a new hobby, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts. And if you're willing, share your journey with others. Your story might be the light that guides someone else through their own transition. If this conversation resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue walking this path together. And don't forget to tap the bell icon, because we have many more stories and strategies to explore in the days ahead. I'm Ordinary People. Remember, it's never too late to find purpose, to grow, and to connect. You are valuable. You are enough, and your best chapter is still unfolding. Thank you for being here.